Hey, what's good, YouTube? T here with the Sacramento Pokemon League YouTube channel, here to bring you guys. Wait, do you see this mat? See this mat? You see how clean it looks? It's not SPL merch, but go check out the website. We do have merch on there, so shout out SPL. Anyways, so here we are, bringing you guys a Lost Box deck profile, but this one is a little bit different. If you haven't seen what's coming out of our Mirage Gate here on the mat, it is a Moltres. We are playing a dark version of Lost Box. I think this is honestly the coolest version of the deck there is, so we're just gonna hop right into it. So first, we got 4 Comfeys. Primary card to get things into the Lost Zone next to Colress. What it does is you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, pick one, add it to your hand, the other one gets into the Lost Zone. The spinning attack never happens. So you use Comfey as much as possible. You recycle it with Scoop Up Net. You switch into the others with Escape Rope, Switch Cards, Air Balloon, and you try to get as many cards into the Lost Zone to use your Lost Zone attackers. Simple enough, right? So we have 4 Comfeys. Next up, for one of our in-game primary attackers, we have 2 Sableyes. Sableye has the attack Lost Mine, so if you have 10 cards in your Lost Zone, you can put 12 damage counters anywhere you like on your opponent's board. So this is to set up late game knockouts, or you can take smaller knockouts. We play Zigzagoon in the list, so if you guys saw the stream where we were curating the deck, we did put Zigzagoon in. Zigzagoon allows you to take like small knockouts on like double Comfey because you have 12 damage counters with Lost Mine. So it's just a really combo oriented deck, and the Sableye is the main part of it. Next, for our other main Lost Zone attacker, we have 2 Cramorants. Cramorant has the Lost Provisions ability, which says if you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, it can attack for free. And this attack does 110. So doing 110 for free is ridiculous. It takes knockouts on small Pokemon. It helps you take 2 shots on Vs. With a Choice Belt, it helps you take 2 shots on V stars. So it's a really good card, and it's one of the best attackers in the deck. Next, for our utility mons, we have a lot of them. We have 1 Oranguru for the Primate Wisdom ability. Honestly, I was questioning this card at first, but after playing this deck a lot, I think this is one of like the best cards in the deck. It lets you preserve resources. It lets you put back energy so you can Mirage Gate. It just helps you dig deeper for an extra card. This card actually just does about everything. So I was a non-believer at first, but I'm a believer now. Next, another attacker in the deck, we have Radiant Greninja. This card is mandatory. Discard an energy card from your hand, draw 2 cards. It also has the Moonlight Shuriken attack, where for 2 water and a colorless, you can deal 90 damage to 2 Pokemon. So this helps you take out, small bench mons. You can set up. I'll tell you the combo. So with Sableye, you can put 6 damage counters on 2 Archeops in the Lugia matchup. And then with Radiant Greninja, you can deal the other 90 to both Archeops, and you take out 2 Archeops. So that's a really cool combo in the deck, and couldn't do it without Radiant Greninja. So that's why this card is really important. Next, for the reason we do not care about Stoutland, is we have our big boy Snorlax. Snorlax has the Unfazed Fat ability, which only matters in the mirror, really. It's unaffected by the effects of attacks. So, like, not being poisoned, paralyzed by Articuno, can't get hit by Lost Mine, things of that nature. But it has the Thumping Snore attack, where it just hits for 180 for 3 energies. Yes, it does go to sleep. Yes, you have to flip 2 coins, but we play enough switch cards for it to not matter as much, hopefully. But you can Thumping Snore, attach Choice Belt, and then Zigzagoon. Actually, attach Choice Belt, and that kills a Stoutland. If you want to kill like other Vs, you put Zigzagoon down, and that gives you the ping that you need. So, Snorlax is a really great inclusion in this deck. Next, for the other utility mon, again, we have a lot. We have Manaphy, just for the bench barrier ability. Water Veil. Wave Veil. Even worse. But Wave Veil, basically bench barrier. Your bench Pokemon can't get hit by attacks. Then we have the one Zigzagoon. Very important include. You put it on the bench and it puts a damage counter anywhere you like on your opponent's board. This just helps you set up like double knockouts when you want to take 2 prizes with your Lost Mine. So you'll Zigzagoon, ping a Comfey, scoop up net, Zigzagoon, ping the other one, and then now you're doing 60s to both and you take 2 knockouts. And then we have Sableye V. Sableye V is our include for bigger attackers. Duraludon VMAX being one of them. Flying Pikachu being another. What else? Lugia V Star, Arceus V Star. This just helps you take big one-shots when you need to with the Crazy Claws attack. For 2 energy, this attack does 10 plus 60 for each damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. So if they have 4 damage counters, you're doing 250, equaling 290. So it takes out basically every V-Star, if I remember correctly. It takes out every V-Star. If you have 5 damage counters on like a VMAX, then you're doing 310. So that takes out every VMAX, including... not including Eternatus VMAX with a Big Charm, but it does take out a Duraludon VMAX with a Big Charm. So that's important to remember, and that's why it's in there. Oh, Kyurem VMAX as well. And then last but not least, we have 2 Moltres, Galarian Moltres. So Galarian Moltres is in here honestly because there's the Mew matchup, and then there are other matchups where, again, you just want to take big knockouts. So you have the Malevolent Charge ability, where if you put this Pokemon down from your hand, you can attach 2 Dark Energies from your hand. And it has the attack Fiery Wrath for 2 Dark and a Colorless. This attack does 20 plus 50 more for each prize your opponent's taken. So against Mew, once they've taken 3 prizes, you kind of just go in with the Galarian Moltres, and it takes out every Mew VMAX from then on. If they take 4 prizes, then you take out Genesect too if they try to attack with those. But no one ever does. It doesn't matter really. But this just takes big knockouts. It can take big knockouts on Vs. If your opponent takes 5 prizes, this is doing 270. So with a Goon Ping, it's doing 280. With a belt, it's doing 310. So you can just out of nowhere knock out VMAXs, V-Stars. So I thought this was a sick inclusion into the deck. It covers so many matchups, and yeah, that's why we play it. Let's see if I can shift these over real quick. Next, we have we're not going to do the energies. All right, for trainers, we have 4 Battle VIP Pass. Honestly, every deck should be playing this card. If it's not Lugia, every deck should be playing this card. VIP Pass, just if it's your first turn, you can play this card, take 2 Pokemon out of your deck, put them on the bench. What more do you need? This card helps you set up in so many ways. It would be absurd for us not to play it. The next 4 Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate is a broken, busted card. I feel like it is one of the best cards ever printed. But if you have 7 or more cards in your Lost Zone, you can take 2 different basic energies from your deck. Yes, they have to be different and basic from your deck, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. No, this is not a supporter. This is an item, so you can play as many of these as you want during your turn if you have access to them. So you can make crazy plays where you'll play like 2 of these to fully charge a Snorlax, fully charge your Greninja. You can put down Moltres, put the 2 energies on, and then put another one from deck onto it. And it just helps you quickly set up your attackers when needed. So this is a broken card and I like it. Next, for Scoop Up Net, best card in the game. No other words need to be said. You pick up any of your Pokemon except for the Sableye V that doesn't come down till like the end game anyway. But yeah, best card in the game. 3 Escape Rope. Honestly, I think Escape Rope is the best card in the deck. Take that back. Second best card. Scoop Up Net, then Escape Rope. So Escape Rope forces you and your opponent to both switch your active Pokemon. Your opponent chooses what they want, but this kind of just moves problems out of the actives, such as like Pikachu VMAX that we see here at locals sometimes, or Ice-Q, you just move them out of the way, and if you have boss, you're able to boss them up. So this breaks a couple of locks, but this is also just another switch card to get Snorlax out of the active after it does Thumping Snore. So that's primarily what it's here for. Also, it switches Comfey, so you can Comfey as much as you want. And yeah, it's just a really good card. One switch card because we felt like Escape Rope was a lot better in most scenarios than one Air Balloon, because you only need one. Oh, we'll keep this penned out. My bad. Then 2 Quick Ball. We don't need a lot of search because obviously we play VIP Pass, but for the times where we do put Pokemon back in the deck with Ordinary Rod, we can search them back out with Quick Ball. If we didn't get a VIP Pass on our turn 1, then we have Quick Balls to use. So there's that. Then 1 Choice Belt for utility, adds 30 damage when attacking Pokemon V Maxes, V Stars. Then 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, because a lot of these 1-ofs are important. So you want to be able to have access to them when you need them. So if, say, Greninja ends up prized, you do want to be able to grab it from your prizes, so that's why we have it. Next, we have our recovery cards. We have 1 Ordinary Rod and 1 Energy Recycler. Ordinary Rod, you can put back 2 basic energies and 2 Pokemon into your deck. So it helps us, keep the flow of attackers going, keep energy in our deck for Mirage Gates. And then Energy Recycler puts 5 basic energies from our discard pile back into the deck. That way we can, again, keep the flow of energy in our deck, constantly Mirage Gate when we need to, and be able to close out games. Then for supporters, we have... Oh, let me see if we can. Perfect. All right. We have 4 Chorus Experiment. Chorus Experiment lets us look at the top 5 cards of the deck. We pick 3, they go to our hand, and then the other 2 go to the Lost Zone. This is the other way you are fueling your Lost Zone engine. And it helps you see the most cards in the deck. So this is why we play it. We play 4 of it, and you want to be able to play one almost every turn. Once you get to 10, you don't really need this as much, and that's why we have the other utility supporters like this. We have 2 Clara, mainly for mid to late game, where Clara has the effect where you can put 2 Pokemon from your discard pile and 2 energies from your discard pile back into your hand. So this lets you put back Moltres after it gets knocked out and the 2 energies, so you can immediately put it back down. This gets you Manaphy back in the mirror match or in any matchup that likes to try to Greninja your Mons a lot. This helps you get back Comfeys, Sableye to reuse as attackers. It does everything, honestly. And then 1 Raihan. I've almost never been fond of this card, but it does come up in niche scenarios where getting any card out of your deck is usually worth it. It lets you grab Mirage Gate, so I think that's busted. It can immediately fuel a Greninja with Raihan, get energy, attach to Greninja, then grab Mirage Gate. So it's insane. Then we play 1 Boss's Order. I know this kind of seems like low, but we play 3 Escape Ropes, so we're playing switching cards, and Rope can act like a boss in some scenarios, so the 1 boss is fine, really. Also, since we're spreading damage counters with like Lost Mine, Greninja, it's not as important. And then last supporter for the disruption, we have 1 Marnie. I play a Marnie. My friend does not. He plays a Judge. So it is personal preference on this. We did have Roxanne at one point, I think. And Roxanne's not real. So Marnie has been a better inclusion. And if you don't know what this card does, both players shuffle their hand, put them at the bottom of the deck, and then your opponent draws 4, and you draw 5. And this just puts resources back into the deck, honestly. Say you have a handful of energy, you want them back in the deck. You can put them back with Marnie, and then you draw into new cards like Mirage Gate, Recyclers, Scoop Up Nets, whatever you need, while knowing that the cards you want on the bottom are at the bottom. Then we have 2 stadiums, 2 training courts. 2 because I think we only played 1 at one point, if I remember correctly. I don't know. But it needed to be 2 because Lugia was playing only 1 collapsed stadium at one point. So we needed to always be able to bump it. So 2 training court. Also, it just helps you Greninja every turn. And then it gets back energy for Moltres, Sableye, honestly, whatever you need. So it is a great inclusion into the deck. But you see kind of how the deck just combos and flows together. So that's what it's here for. Then last but not least, we have 5 Dark Energies, 3 Waters, and 2 Psychics. 3 Waters because in case you prize 1, you still have 2 for the Greninja. 5 Darks because it's a great number, and you're using 2 for Sableye, Moltres, and sometimes you'll have 1 stuck on the Snorlax, so you want to be able to have access to them at all times. And then 2 Psychics because it gives you the comfortability of lost zoning 1 if you didn't prize the other. That way you can always attack with the Sableye and always have access to the 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. I made this deck profile a little messy. I apologize. But hope you all enjoyed. Hope you guys try this deck out. If you want any tips, leave a comment. If you want any tips on how to play the deck, please leave a comment. Because I've been playing this deck for way too long at this point. And I think this deck is insane and everyone should try it. Anyways, that is T here with the Sacramento Pokemon League's YouTube channel. And we'll see you at Locals.